Voters upset with partisan gridlock have tried to reshuffle the political cards by passing redistricting reform and an open primary law designed to help moderate politicians win elections. Theoretically, that's supposed to reduce political polarization. But will it work? We have two veteran Sacramento observers to give us their insights on that issue. John Myers is Sacramento Bureau Chief with KQED, and Dan Walters is the columnist for the Sacramento Bee. Welcome to you both.
Thanks.
So, John, will this theory work in practice?
Isn't that the great question that we all want to know? You know, there are a lot of people watching it. We certainly know that. It's going to be a very interesting summer. We get these maps and people are going to be debating them all summer long, and then of course by the late summer we get some final resolution to it, all of it. It seems like that the only thing you can really count on out of this process is transparency. We're going to see the discussions in public. We're going to see a lot of proposals talked about in public, maybe lines moved around in public. We're not really sure how that process will completely play out. But you know, all these people who want this great competitive nature of districts or this complete reworking of all of that, I think that's a lot to ask for, especially in a state with the demographics that California has and all the other challenges that this commission has to do. So I think at the end of the day, transparency is the only thing you're guaranteed.
Let's get crass here and talk about the numbers. In terms of which party is going to kind of come out ahead in this, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, there are two countervailing things about that. The Democrats have been gaining registration, Republicans have been losing it, so in theory the Democrats should gain. But then they kind of maximized things 10 years ago, so maybe they won't. And then the other one says you should have more Latino seats, that should help the Democrats. But on the other hand, it says you should have more seats in the inland areas of California and fewer on the coast, that might help the Republicans. So who knows? My guess is that it's not going to change the partisan lineup of the legislature or the congressional delegation so awfully much. I think it could change, however, the tenor, and that's the whole idea of the thing, to have
more moderate.
Yeah, not so many super lib Democrats and super right Republicans, but more people in the middle, and that could result. And you have to remember, there's another thing that's going to happen next year, and that's going to be this top two primary, or the jungle primary, that's also going to change the equation a lot, and in theory has the same kind of potential effect. But regardless of what the effect is, separating out the redistricting from the primary and all that will be a very difficult thing to do. And I have to put this cautionary note. Yes, the commission is supposed to finish the plans by August, but then it's subject to much review by the judicial arm of government, both federal and state, as well as the U.S. Justice Department, because 4 counties in California, including 2 in the San Joaquin Valley, anything that affects the voting in those 4 counties is subject to review by the Justice Department under the Voting Rights Act. And so you have all sorts of complicating factors. So what comes out at the end is just basically anybody's guess.
I was just going to say, I think that just quickly to play on that, if I could, Mark, to me the most fascinating part is not necessarily the inter-party dynamics, but the intra-party dynamics, because you're going to have a lot of incumbents wondering where they go, districts that have to be reconfigured, 2 members that could fight each other because their districts get lumped together, and so the internal party politics I think will be fascinating.
You know, George Skelton, a longtime political observer, has written that reform isn't all good. The centuries-old initiative that has led to ballot box budgeting, a major contributor to deficit spending. Term limits have weakened the legislators' ability to respond to California's needs. What are the unintended consequences, you think, here?
That'd be the title of the next book I ever write about California politics is going to be called Unintended Consequences, and we're full of them in all sorts. And this is going to be, we don't know. We don't know what the consequences are other than they will be there. The current bad state of the legislature is probably the result of 2 things, both term limits and gerrymandered districts that interacted with one another and created unintended consequences. So we don't know what these consequences are going to be. All you can be certain is there'll probably be some of them that nobody ever envisioned.
We've only got about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think one thing to look for is if the commission draws what has been described to me as defensive maps, because the number one thing I would think if you're a commissioner is you want your work product to count. And so the one thing that you have to make sure is you don't break the Federal Voting Rights Act requirements about people's rights to vote. Everything else may become negotiable at that point about how the districts look or how they're configured.
Well, I want to thank Dan Walters and John Myers for joining us, as well as State Assembly members Henry Perea and Bill Berryhill, and Citizens Redistricting Commissioner Stanley Forbes. If you want to keep up with local politics and policy, you can sign up for our award-winning newsletter, The Maddy Daily, by logging on to our website at maddyinstitute.org.